I think to the degree that it does increase U.S. exports to China, manufactured products, agriculture, et cetera, that is good for American workers, farmers, and ranchers. But Larry is right to underscore how important the remaining issues are, the structural issues of reforming the state-owned enterprise sector in China, or dealing with subsidies in China that really distort the global economy and have an adverse effect on U.S. companies. So phase two is going to be very, very important here.
I would just comment, though. I mean, I think that's all correct, except that the fact that there's some stability in the relationship is a positive. And by that, I mean back to investment in the United States. If you look at capital investment, 17 and 18, it was up, say, 7-8%. It was flat in 19. Maybe that there's some stability now. Companies will, since they understand the landscape, and I agree with, there's a lot more to be done in the detail. We all understand that. But maybe that will go back to investing again. Maybe it's low single digits, but some level of investment, which is also good for the American worker.
But I think.
Go ahead.
I was curious to ask you, Michael, do you think that in the execution of this new trade agreement, the Chinese will, in fact, abide by the kind of deadlines that are put in, or in your experience, their execution has in the past kind of been a little different?
Implementation is always difficult with that, and I think the Trump administration is very focused on seeing whether they do implement this or on schedule or not. For example, they have 30 days to come up with a intellectual property rights plan. We'll all be eager to see what's in there. But they also allow themselves some backdoors in the agreement. When they talk about increasing U.S. exports by $200 billion, the Chinese put in their language that says, assuming that market forces allow that, suggesting that there may be some obstacles to actually implementing that. You know, to me, I would judge the agreement about whether it advances the kind of economic reforms we want to see in China or not, because ultimately the big question is, how do we accommodate an economy as important, as large as China that follows quite a different set of rules into the global economy? And that requires us to have more convergence around a common set of rules.